Hi, welcome back once again to our channel CBSE Board Economics. Today we carry on with your macroeconomics. We're moving to chapter number 3 in macroeconomics, national income accounting. Today we'll be discussing about circular flow of income. Probably this year, this topic has been deleted because of COVID-19. But still, the concepts that are given in circular flow of income will help you to understand the later on topics, that is measurement of national income by income method, by product method and expenditure method. These concepts have deep foundations. That's why we are covering this topic once again. Please understand and follow these concepts. The later chapters become quite easy for you. Now, in this chapter, we'll be discussing, as usual, 5 topics or 5 questions. Number 1 is, what is money flow? Number 2, what is real flow? Number 3, what are the 4 factors of production? Number 4, what are the factor payments or factor receipts? Number 5, explain circular flow of income in 2-sector economy. The 2 sectors we'll be talking about are households and firms. There are 5 sectors in the economy, but the other 3 sectors are not in your syllabus for class 12. Those are maybe the government, rest of the world, and the capital market. Now we restrict our study to 2-sector economy. Let's start with the circular flow of income. With the first topic we have, what is money flow? Money flow is the flow of money from one sector to the other sector. Flow of money from one sector to the other sector. For example, when you buy a pen from the shopkeeper, you pay money to him. That means money flow is taking place. When your dad is working somewhere, every month he gets his wages and salaries, that is money flow. So what is money flow? Simple, it's a flow of money from one sector to the other sector. And what is real flow? Real flow is not in terms of money. It is in terms of goods and services. Not in terms of money, in terms of goods and services. For example, instead of paying money to buy a pen, you give him something else. Maybe you give him a clock. In return, he'll give you a pen. That is real flow. That is flow of goods and services. It's a kind of barter system. Real flow is flow of goods and services, in terms of goods and services, not in terms of money. We'll be discussing in detail. What are the 4 factors of production? These are simple concepts that will help you later on. The 4 factors which help you in production are 1, land, 2, labor, 3, capital, and 4, entrepreneurship or enterprise you call it. The 4 factors of production are land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Without this, you just can't do anything. You can't produce anything. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. For example, even if you want to cultivate rice, you need land, You need labor, you need capital. Capital means machines, tractor, choppers, and entrepreneurship, the one who organizes the show. Even you want to produce in big factories, they use the 4 factors: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. These are the 4 factors of production. When you use these factors of production, you have to pay them. That's called factor payments or factor receipts. When you pay someone, that is called factor payment. When people receive it, that's called factor receipts, factor incomes for them. What do we pay to these 4 factors of production? We pay rent to land, we pay wages and salaries to labor, we pay interest to the capital, we pay profits to the entrepreneur. These are called factor payments or factor receipts from the factors of production point of view. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Land gets rent, labor gets wages and salaries, capital gets interest, entrepreneur gets profits. This is called factor payments or factor receipts. And the last one you have, explain circular flow of income in 2-sector economy. In all modern economies, we have both the flows. We have money flows and we have real flows. That we'll be talking from this illustration. We understand how the circular flow of income is taking place, how the real flow is taking place, how the money flow is taking place. Let's explain this with the help of this illustration. Here we assume the first point. Remember, there are only 2 sectors in the economy. One is the households and one is the firm. Households and firm. The main function of a household is consumption. We know households don't produce anything at home. We're all consumers. The main function of the firms is production, producers, all the firms. So here we assume that there are only 2 sectors in the economy, households and the firms. The main function of the household is production and the main function of the firms is production output. Households are the owners of 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Let's start how the real flow and money flow is taking place in the economy. Households provide their factor services to the firms in terms of land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Households own land, labor, capital, enterprise. They are the owners of 4 factors of production. They provide these factor services to the firms. This is real flow because flow of goods and services is taking place here from households to the firms. There's no money flow here. This is real flow. With the help of these 4 factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship or enterprise, the firms produce goods and services and sell them in the market. And whatever the receipts they get, they give it to the households again as factor payments. That is, they pay rent to land, wages and salaries to labor, interest to the capital, and entrepreneur get profits. This is money flow taking place from firms to the households. It means every real flow has an opposite money flow. Every real flow has an opposite money flow. And this is called factor market. Why do we call it factor market? Because there is a market for the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Again, I repeat here, there are 2 sectors, households and the firms. Households are the owners of 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. They provide factor services to the firms. This is real flow. With the help of these, firms produce goods and services and sell them, and whatever the receipts they get it, they give it to the households as factor payments, rent, wages and salaries, interest and profits. This is money flow. Every real flow has an opposite money flow. And this side of the picture or the illustration is called factor market. Households take the money which they got it from the firms and give it to the firms again as consumption expenditure. So again, once again, money flow is taking place here. In return, the firms give them goods and services. Now, the real flow is taking place from firms to the households. This is real flow. That means again, every money flow has an opposite real flow. And this side, you have product market, that is market for goods and services. So again, I repeat, firms produce, households give them consumption expenditure to the firms. When they buy goods and services from them, the money flow is taking place. In return, the firms give them goods and services. Every real flow has an opposite flow. Every money flow has an opposite real flow. Every real flow has an opposite money flow. That means in the two-sector economy, there are two real flows and two money flows. You can see it. So these are flowing in opposite direction all the time. They keep on continuing here. So in the opposite direction, money flow and real flow. I repeat once again, we are talking about circular flow of income. We're talking about real flows and money flows. I've already told you, real flow means in terms of goods and services. Money flow means in terms of money. Here we assume, you remember in points it becomes much easier. Here we assume there are two sectors in the economy, households and firms. This is the first point. Second point, households are the owners of four factors of production, that's land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. Third point, they provide these factor services to the firms, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship for producing goods and services. This is real flow. The firms, fourth point, with the help of these, produce goods and services and sell them, and whatever the receipts they get it, they give to the households at factor payments, that's rent to land, wages and salaries to labor, interest to the capital and profits to the entrepreneurship. So this is the factor market. Households, whatever the money they get it may be the fifth point, they give it to the firms as consumption expenditure. Once again, money flow is taking place from households to the firms. In return, the firms give them goods and services. Here, real flow is taking place from the firms to the households. So, every real flow has an opposite money flow. Every money flow has an opposite real flow. This side is called product market. That means in the economy, there are two real flows and two money flows flowing in opposite direction. So, we see the revision once again. It becomes easier for you to learn all the 5 topics or 5 questions. So we're discussing macroeconomics, national income accounting, chapter number 3, circular flow of income. Probably this topic has been deleted for 2021 board examination, but still we are covering it up because it really helps you to understand the measurement of national income. And there is a topic, real GDP, nominal GDP. So, to understand real GDP, nominal GDP, real flow, money flows will really help you. So, let's see once again the revision. What is money flow? In one sentence, money flow is flow of money from one sector to the other sector. For example, when the households spend their money for buying goods and services from the firms, the money flow is taking place. When the firms give the households factor payments or factor incomes, the money flow is taking place from firms to the households. That's money flow. In simple words, money flow is just flow of money from one sector to the other sector. What is real flow? Real flow is not in terms of money, it is in terms of goods and services from one sector to the other sector. Flow of goods and services from one sector to the other sector. For example, when the households provide 4 factors of production, we say real flow is taking place from households to the firms. When the firms give goods and services to the households, again the real flow is taking place. What are the 4 factors of production? Simple. There are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. They help in production of goods and services. That's why they are called 4 factors of production. What do we pay to these 4 factors of production when they help in producing goods and services? We pay rent to land, we pay wages and salaries to labor, we pay interest to the capital, we pay profits to the entrepreneur. These are called factor payments or factor incomes, factor receipts. Explain the circular flow of income in 2-sector economy. Here we assume there are 2 sectors in the economy. One is household, the other one is firms. Households are the owners of 4 factors of production. The households provide the factor services, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship to the firms for producing goods and services. The third point, with the help of these factor services, the household firms produce goods and services, and they pay to these 4 factors of production factor payments: rent, wages and salaries, interest and profits. This is a factor market, so real flow and money flow is taking place here. When the households spend their money as consumption expenditure, money flow is taking place. In return, the firms provide them goods and services. So these are the 5 topics you have in chapter number 3. I'm 100% sure you must have followed it. In case you have not followed it, please give us a comment in the comment box. So till we meet next time, it's goodbye and take proper care. Best of luck for your board exam. But don't forget to subscribe, share, comment and like this channel. Thank you very much. I'm Saddam Hussain. Goodbye.